Hey, what's up? We're live. Just starting this up. Got the image here. These two dudes. What's their names?
Yeah, a lot of prospects got called up this week, and uh, a
Matos,
few of
right?
them I think are going to be viable right away in standard stuff, but we'll get into it eventually. You can follow me on Twitter at Leland Taglieri. I pretty much kind of focus on posting box scores of like reliever usage and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll mix in other stuff, but uh, I try and just show like day to day how bullpens are being used and what kind of ads you can get from them.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that with your stuff there.
So Pete Alonso, I I don't think anyone expected him to be back this fast. He was dealing with a
Yeah.
wrist sprain, bone bruise, which is hopefully not going to impact his power. But he's
Get a little
he
injection,
was
maybe.
activated today, and he only missed what, like a little over a week. He was supposed to
Yeah, that was
miss
just
3 to
last
4
week we talked
weeks.
about it.
So I don't know what the hell happened with that shit, but
Or I guess it's been on the past two streams. I think. I know it was on last week. I don't know if it was on the one
you could
before it.
always expect the Mets training staff to have no clue what they're doing, positively or negatively.
Oh yeah, you can't trust the Mets ever. Mets and Jets. Carlos Rodon, back injury. It's been cleared to begin rehab assignment on Tuesday in Double A and expected to return in July, which we're not far off from July. Only
Yeah,
about
it's hard to really gauge if it's going to be
a little more than a
early or
week.
mid or late July. So I just tried to leave it as is,
Okay.
but I think it's going to be maybe more early to mid. But with him, you really don't want to be optimistic on his timetables because he's just had such a injury riddled career.
Is he like the first in their bullpen? Is he the first? Their like number one pitcher for the Yankees right now. Is that
No,
like
it's
their
Garrett
first?
Cole, and
Oh, it's
then
Cole. Okay.
I guess Luis Severino, but he's been pretty bad. Nestor Cortez, I don't know if you could consider him a number two. I mean, if he was like fully healthy and doing what he did last couple of years, I guess you could consider him that. But it's been pretty sketchy outside of Cole.
Okay.
Patrick Wisdom, right wrist sprain. As a power hitter, that's not good, and he's terrible for batting average. So
Oh
he
yeah, low
was
percent too.
really fading already in standard leagues. I think most people just gave up on him because he does have the ability to hit 30 home runs and maybe steal like 5 to 10 bases, which is pretty not rare, but it's a good skill set. It's just his average is so bad, and the Cubs' offense is not good either.
Hmm. Um, Cedric Mullins, right groin strain. Reportedly running well, but remains without a timetable for return. So that could be like Alonzo, though. Maybe he'll just pop up.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's really just the Mets like don't know how to deal with injuries, but Baltimore is hopefully going to allow Mullins to completely rehab because while they're winning right now, and I'm sure they want him back right away, they know that they could probably still make the playoffs and not rush him back. And he's arguably their best player, so you really don't want to just hamper him in any way. You just want to
Yeah,
let him
take
fully
it easy.
fully heal. And a groin strain is something you could probably re-injure easily. All that kind of soft tissue stuff. Edward
I didn't know there
Cabrera,
was a left. I didn't know there was a left and right. By the way. That's new to me. I thought it was just a groin strain. This is a right groin strain. So I guess
What
it's
do you
your right
mean?
ball or something. It says right groin strain.
Yeah, you don't think a groin is on both sides?
I thought it was just a groin strain. It's the whole muscle. I didn't think it was a side. You know, I still actually I'm questioning actually that right groin strain. I think it's a groin strain. I don't know.
You don't think groins are on both sides?
I think they are, but I think once you strain the one side, the whole muscle is messed up. I don't think it's a sidal thing like that.
Well,
Like right shoulder, that's a different story. It's a
yeah.
groin muscle.
Nobody wants to get into groins, so
Yeah.
like dissect that. I mean, we
Does
could
that
ask
mean maybe
Cedric.
just his right ball? Maybe it means his right ball is hurt or something.
We could ask Cedric, but I don't think he really wants to even answer that question.
Yeah, I'm looking this up. There is no. All right. Never mind. All right, no, there are sides to this. Okay, I get it.
Uh, so Edward Cabrera, right shoulder impingement. That is a sketchy injury. There's no timetable for return. I don't know how long it's going to be, but it does allow Yuri Perez, who's looked amazing. He's one of the top pitching prospects in baseball, to stay in the rotation. I still think that his innings are going to get limited overall because he's really never built up to around, I don't even think 100. So they're going to eventually either shut him down or work a 6-man rotation or baby him in someone with openers. This is more of a Yuri Perez post than Eric Cabrera post, who he has looked decent at times, but he just has no control.
Tristan McKenzie, right elbow strain, placed on the 15-day IL. He underwent an MRI Friday, but the results have not been announced. Expected to have a lengthy absence.
Yeah, I mean, elbow strains are not good. And we just talked about him. I think we mentioned him like almost every single stream. He's
Yep.
either been coming back or returned. He's very thin and very frail. So I don't know if that's why he deals with so many injuries, but he has so far for his career. I have seen rumors that it could be a season ender, but I'm not going to outright say that yet because I mean, the IMR, when you have an MRI, you're going to find out more information on the injury. So there's no point in trying to project how long it's going to be until the
Mm.
results are out there. John Brebbia, he's been really good. Um, Unfortunately, he's been using opener a lot of times, which is annoying because he's a decent pole play who's SB eligible in Yahoo leagues, which is really good. He was placed on the 15-day IL and agreed to, I think, is probably 2 3 weeks, but I'm not sure on that. So I just tried to, you know, give kind of a general idea or broad timetable of when he might be back.
Hmm. Tanner Houck, uh, fractal, facial fractal. Okay. 15-day IL, no timetable for return. That's an
Yeah, he got
interesting
hit in the
one.
face,
The
and
ball, yeah,
I
pretty hard,
haven't
I bet.
seen like any stuff whether he's dealing with concussion type symptoms, but I would not be surprised if they show up later on.
Yeah,
Nestor
that's kind
Cortez.
of yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that's kinda like some I mean, I feel like he's out for something more than what they're saying probably, you know? I mean, you just get hit in the I don't know. You get hit in the face, do you really need like, and you got a fracture in your I don't know, your cheekbone or something, do you really need to sit out for that? How does that affect your, hitting or pitching, you know? I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
how I'm saying. I think he might have more going on than just physical damage. You know, when you
Yeah.
get hit in the head with a baseball, you probably have um, concussion like symptoms, or like stuff that you can't purely project a timetable for. So
Yeah,
that's
maybe they don't
why
like
I
to
tried to leave it
show that off.
ambiguous.
They might not like to tell people that just because it's no one wants to hear that word.
Well, in football, definitely.
Yeah, football for
Baseball's a
sure.
little bit different because it's not often where that happens.
Yeah,
But yeah, in football, like people will, people like Tua had like 4 concussions last year, and they played him through half of them.
yeah. It's funny.
It's a
Also,
different
hockey is
game.
funny with their injuries. Hockey is like, oh, upper body injury, lower body injury. They don't give you the detail of what that could mean.
No, I
That could
know.
mean your fingers hurt or your shoulders separated. It could be anything.
That's what I hated about when I did do fantasy hockey, which was not very long, but the reporting on injuries was so ambiguous and weird. It's like every time they're just trying to one up or like get something over on the opponents for the next couple of weeks, that they didn't want to give out information on what the actual timetable was.
Yeah, you don't want to have people. Yeah, that it's that with the opponent, but it's also you'll get headhunted in that spot. Like if someone's shoulder hurt, you're gonna see someone
Yeah, I remember
on the other
Sidney
team give him a hit
Crosby
to the
had
shoulder.
one, like, he had one head injury, and then from then on, everyone just was headhunting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nestor Cortez. You were just starting that one. Okay, he played on the Sunday. Played catch with his, I guess, with his son. Did he have like a Father's
No,
Day
like
catch?
probably someone up in the staff.
What did Mac from Always Sunny need to throw the ball around with him or something? Oh, well, Yankees probably not. What's his name? That that Philly, that famous Philly player. He shows up in in the new season.
Don McNabb.
No. The Phillies. He was a baseball player.
Oh, um,
He went to play the Dodgers too, I think later.
uh, well, don't spoil that for me. I didn't even watch it yet.
Oh well, he's been in it. He's been in it before. He's been in Always Sunny. It's a callback.
Mike Schmidt.
No. Well, that's I don't think Mike Schmidt's ever showed up, but no, I think he won with the World Series. He's probably like on that World Series winning team.
I don't know. I only know Roddy Rod Piper, and he never played in anything professionally.
Nah, it was. If I heard the name, I'd know who it was.
So where are we at now? Matt Moore. He's been dealing with an oblique injury to a
Okay, let me get that.
bullpen session today, and hopefully he can face life hitting next week. I don't expect him to return soon at all, and this will lead to one of the ads we're going to talk about later on.
Okay. Oh, it was Chase Utley, by the way. Colin
Chase
Holderman.
Utley, damn,
Yes. Yep.
he was good. He's a
Yeah.
borderline Hall of Famer. He just did not stay healthy enough to produce to get in.
Colin Holderman, right wrist inflammation. 15-day IL, no timetable. It's looking like Moretta could see some more holds.
Yeah, we talked about um, Dario Moreta either last week or a few weeks ago,
Yeah, I don't think it was
hoping
last
that
week.
he would be moved in high leverage. So Holderman's been working the eighth. If Moreta is not working the eighth, he'll at least get more access to the sixth to seventh, and that's enough to get hold opportunities. So that's good for him. If you listen to us and Adam, I mean, in like deeper hold stuff, he's way gone, but
Hmm.
more shallow stuff. Max Fried, I know we've talked about him several times because he's got a long way from returning.
Yeah, he's been on here.
Shoulder
Yeah.
injury, he's yet to progress throwing off a mound, and hopefully he's back around the All Star break. But a lot of times, we're at the point now where everyone's going to be returning around the All Star break just because it's like
Like a halfway point, right?
yeah, like it's just like something that everyone knows is coming and they know the timeline for.
Zach Nito. Left oblique strain, another oblique strain. There is, I guess, left and right to that. Placed on 10-day IL, no timetable for return, but not expected to be a lengthy absence. All right, that's good at least.
Yeah, I
Not
mean,
supposed to
who
be too long.
knows, left or right? I mean, do groins and obliques even exist? They
I,
might
I
just be made
apparently,
up.
yeah, like Grote syndrome.
It's
I heard.
unfortunate though because I was writing about him as an ad on Tuesday,
Oh shit.
and I stopped because I realized if I start talking about and like writing up everyone now, there's a good chance by Friday they'll be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And there you
Yeah,
go.
that's funny. That's true.
Because I've had posts where like I wrote like an entire thing on somebody and then I had to just delete it because they were done a couple days later. Daniel Hudson, this is looking somewhat promising because his rehab has been delayed and delayed and delayed. And when he comes back, he legitimately could see save opportunities, and he's had decent numbers for several years now.
Cool.
He's expected to, move up from I think he was at Double A to Triple A, and they're hoping he'll return before the end of June, but you never know. He's now somewhat of an older pitcher, so the older a player is, the more I want to be um, cautious on their return times.
Jesse Chavez, left shin contusion, placed on the 15-day IL. Also, no timetable for a return.
Yeah, it's a weird injury, and he's very old. So I mean, I think he's like coming up on like he's almost 40 and he's still
Hmm.
going. I always thought Jesse Chavez was a scrub, but I mean, this year his production's been crazy, so I could not leave him off of a mention.
He's
Yo
39.
Moncada, always hurt. I mean, the guy just can never stay healthy. It's just ridiculous almost at this point. A back injury, no timetable for return, 10-day IL. I doubt he makes it back in 10 days. I
Hmm.
doubt he makes it back in a month. He's just, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't even seem to like care about even playing baseball. He's got
When
other
you're getting
stuff
that
going
money,
on.
man,
If you want to
getting the
look up
Yankees
Yo
cash.
Moncada, he's got some singles that he released a few months back.
Really? So he's a rapper?
No, I think he does more like Bad Bunny type. Um,
Oh, is he Puerto Rican?
I don't know.
Oh, oh no, he's
I
Cuban.
don't know where he's from.
He's Cuban. Probably grew up in Florida. Oh no, he's straight up grew up there. All right, I didn't know they were like taking them in like that. Lance McCullers Jr. Right forearm. So it's looking like he underwent season-ending surgery Tuesday to fix a flexor tendon and remove a bone spur. So that's painful. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, this is another guy like Mancada who's just always hurt every single season. And it's frustrating because when he's healthy, he looks good and you can see the upside. He has good stuff, but just has never been able to put it together. Well, I mean, he's had a couple decent years, but consistently never been reliable. Drew Smith, this is pretty cut and dry. 10-game suspension. He was using some weird shit which Max Scherzer got caught with earlier on in the season. So maybe the Mets are trying to get a.
grease that ball.
The Mets have like some weird lube stuff they're putting on people to try and get their pitches to be more effective, and they're getting caught with it several times.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. He has got a foot injury. He began taking batting practice on Wednesday, but also still no timetable for a return.
Yeah, and you see that it's batting practice, not
Yeah,
running or
yeah, you're not doing much.
mobility exercises. So I don't know if he's
And
close. I'm
yeah,
hoping that he beats his timetable because Miami's actually somewhat competitive and they've got some decent people. We talked about De La Cruz a few weeks ago, Brian De La Cruz, and he was really good. That was one of the you know bigger hits where they had, and Jorge Soler's been crazy. I think he's putting up like third to fourth round value right now, um, competing for the league lead in home runs. And Arias is almost hitting 400, probably the favorite for the batting title. So Miami going into the season, people kind of wrote them off, but they're not that bad.
Mm.
So when he comes back, the entire offense is going to be much more interesting. Julio Arias, this is a weird one because at first it was supposed to be a minimum, but then he had a setback with his hamstring. He threw a bullpen session earlier on in the week, and they're hoping he'll start a rehab assignment, I guess, next week. But
Mm.
his timetable's been really weird.
Vinny Pasquantino, um, torn labrum, will undergo season-ending injury. So that's it
Yeah,
for him.
that's sad because he's in his second year. He's one of the uh, more, I would say, like safer floor prospects. He was
Hmm.
expected to be hitting for average, hitting for solid power, really good on base skills, but it's going to be hopefully hopefully next year he'll be good to go. Some of these injuries can bleed into the next season. Jordan Alvarez, oh, man, I mean, I love this guy. He's amazing. I had him actually in his rookie season. He won me a league, but he just has always dealt with lower body injuries. I don't know what it is. I don't
Hmm.
know if it's just maybe how tall he is. I don't know, but he's dealing with oblique discomfort. And once you hear oblique, you need to be concerned because the minimum is usually 3 to 4 weeks. And
Mm.
once again, we'll reference the All Star break, but that's kind of where we're at this point.
Mitch Haniger, right forearm fracture, placed on 10-day IL, not expected back before August. So this is past the All Star break by quite a bit. Top prospect Luis Matos has been recalled, so that's
Yeah, and we'll
a
talk
silver
about him
lining.
later. But Haniger, even though it's the 10-day IL, I don't think he'll get moved to the 60, but
Hmm.
he's not expected back anytime soon. Um, Lars Nootbaar, he just
Good name.
started a yeah. People love him. I mean, people say he sounds like a candy bar or something, but
Yeah, it's a weird name.
uh, he actually, I think he's part Japanese because he played on the. They did this thing called the World Baseball Classic, which is kind of like the Olympics, and he was on Team Japan with Shohei Otani and uh, Yoshida and stuff like that.
Got a little bit of a spelling error. I'm fixing it up. It's spelled like
But
this.
Lars Nootbaar is expected to return on Monday.
Okay. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's oh no, he's born in El Segundo, California, but maybe he just went to play over there. Yeah, he's
No, I think if you have like a certain, um, you know, like your nationality is whatever it is, you're eligible to play for it. Like there's a lot of people who
hmm
could have played for America or they could have played somewhere else and they just kind of pick and choose where they want to go.
Yeah, his mom was Japanese, so I guess maybe that's just it. As long as you have a 50% Japanese background, they let you in. Ryan Mountcastle, another good name. He's got vertigo. 10-day IL there, retroactive to June 9th. No timetable for a return.
That
I've
is
had
a
that
good name.
before.
It almost sounds like it's like a fake movie name or something.
Kind of like a porn star name there.
Yeah, well, because it has Mount in it.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna throw that in there, it's gotta be involved, or maybe
Pete
not. Maybe
Hendricks.
maybe light erotica. You know.
This fucking sucks. I mean, he has been through
Yeah.
so much. He finally, was pitching again. He looked okay. He kind of struggled, but that's expected given the amount of time off. He's dealing with a right flexor strain. He had a cortisone shot Sunday. He's scheduled to have a rich platelet plasma injection.
Okay.
Which to me, I just think about like somebody from Jurassic Park with like a huge needle with an embryo in it sticking him inside.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm looking into it. Yeah, it goes right into the tendons and ligaments to accelerate healing.
It's fucking crazy, man. Like people, like when baseball first started, it was like Babe
Oh
Ruth
yeah.
eating like hot dogs and drinking beer and going out to play, and now we have like
Oh yeah. Their fingers
alien
hurt.
technology being shot up your asshole every other day. You know?
Yeah, and they still sit out. I was just reading about Ty Cobb. He had what did he have? He had his appendix removed, and then he played in the morning, and then he played that night. He went and played
Yeah, he
right
had his
after.
plates removed, then played a doubleheader, and he
Yeah.
was probably chewing tobacco the entire time and like smoking cigarettes in the dugout.
Yeah, he had whiskey on his side. I think that was a different time.
Well, I know the Mets had like poppers in the dugouts, which are just like another form of speed because they were so
Yeah.
hungover every day going into the game.
Oh.
Daryl, Doc,
Oh yeah. It's probably more than that going on. Cody Bellinger, he's got a knee injury. He will play in minor league rehab game on Tuesday, AAA. So he's getting close. That means he's almost there.
yeah, and they need him. The Cubs look like shit without him. Uh, Ryan Helsley, right forearm strain, which is a I mean,
Oh,
that
it
could
looks like
either
a
be
start
2 weeks
again.
or that could
You-
be 2 years. That's
Yeah.
some of these injuries are very ambiguous based on how the level is. Like we talked about
Yeah.
the level of the groin strain. You just don't
Hmm.
know with soft tissue injuries. He was placed on the 15-day IL retroactive to June 10th, but I don't know how long it's going to take. And Jordan Hicks has recorded the last two saves for the Cardinals, which is kind of weird, given Gallegos is the expected closer. They'll probably
Mm.
mix, but I think we talked about Jordan Hicks last week. So if
Yeah,
you added
he's come
Jordan
up.
Hicks, you got two saves out of that shit. He will demolish your ratios. It's a lot like Pierce Johnson, where you're hoping that you'll get counting stats without ruining your ERA and WHIP, but it's kind of a crapshoot. And that's it for the news. I feel like that was kind of, you know, on average, maybe lesser than a lot of what we usually talk about. But
Yeah, it was kind of
it's
equal.
hard, I try to be like selective on what injuries are prominent and what it's just like not worth talking about. But I don't want to like leave shit out too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, these are the hitting ads under 50%.
Luis Matos. So he's been one of the better power speed prospects in the minors for a few years now. I I'm glad that he got, I wouldn't say fast track, but I did not expect him to come up this early. But Mitch Henniger, we already talked about, he's gonna be probably out maybe a month, maybe more. And Matos has legit 2020 upside, can hit for average. I would say if he's available in 12s, you got to add him. And the Giants do love to platoon. I'm hoping he'll play every day, but you really need to be aware of the fact that they will sit him. I don't know if they really have ever been in love with any prospect they've had coming up since Buster Posey. So you want to just temper expectations on counting stats because even though he made his debut hitting second, I think he hit 5 to 7th the next few games,
Hmm.
but he produced and he's been hitting. He had um, on Saturday, he went 2 for 3 with 2 walks, a stolen base, and scored 4 runs. I mean, to me, that just reads like this guy's got to be hitting 1 through 3 in the order. You know, I don't want to say he's ready, but he's been in the minors long enough to where I think he's going to hit right away. I don't think he's a project. I don't think they need to develop him. I'm just hoping that they allow him to not have to platoon and he'll just be good to go every day for the rest of the year. Jock Peterson, another giant. The fact that Mitch Haniger is out, it just opens up so much time in the outfield. Um, he's I don't want to say like he's boring at this point, but he's been good for like 20 home runs, 25, 30 home runs every year in a full season. It's just he has issues staying healthy. Coming up in the minors, he was like a power speed prospect, but the speed's really fallen off. He can still maybe get you like 5, 10 at most, but I wouldn't expect it, especially because he platoons. He doesn't play versus lefties. But if he can hit, 250, 260, hit 30, I doubt he hits 30. But if he hits like 20, 30 home runs, that's, I'd say, bench worthy utility option in 12s, and he's already gone in deeper leagues. But I feel like, he missed enough time where people might have forgot about him, and he's got a decent floor. Eddie Rosario, just like Jock Peterson, can go 30-10 at his peak, struggles versus lefties. He's in a much better lineup, and he's hit in the middle of it. So his RBIs should be decent if he's, you know, able to produce. But I think, like Pearson, he will get platoon versus lefties. I'm hoping not. I think his platoon um, usage will be less than Peterson because the Giants just seem to be just dead set on having almost 2 lineups at a time versus one or the other. But anyone in the Braves lineup that is playing every day needs to be rostered. They're just so dominant. Acuna is putting up ridiculous numbers. Albies now is hitting second, is just really on a hot streak. Um, Riley, Olson, they just Murphy. They have so much. So any exposure to Atlanta that you can get, even in deeper leagues, like just peripheral type options, are worth rostering. Bo Naylor, I think most people were hoping Bo Naylor would have been up by now. He's Josh Naylor's younger brother, by the way, who's also in Cleveland. He's first base outfielder. We talked about, I think, two
Yeah, I
weeks
think I
ago.
remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I
And
remember
at
the
the
Naylor
time, he
name.
was like rostered at 30%. Now he's over 80%. So hopefully you listen to us.
Wow, that's a big change there.
But unlike his brother, he's a lot slimmer. He
Yeah, you can
has a
see
lot more
these.
speed.
Yeah, you can see these clips. Also, you could tell he's somewhere in the minors.
Yeah, I don't have footage of him playing in
Yeah,
the
probably
majors
not up
because
yet.
he hasn't really debuted yet. But his minor league numbers show you could go maybe 2020. at his peak, similar to people like G2 Realmuto, Dalton Varsho. These are some of the top 3 to 5 catchers in the league. It's really hard to be a catcher and steal bases. It just does not happen very often. And he has the ability to. Cleveland's offense has been terrible, but I mean, you look at what they did today against Davies, who's a scrub piece of garbage. They just dominated him, and they put up like 12 runs. So I think Cleveland's coming around, and I don't know where he's going to hit in the offense yet because there's not enough information to gauge his playing time and where he's going to be in the order. He needs to be rostered in one catcher leagues. There's just not a lot of catchers that have the ability to steal 10 bases. It's just not something you come across. Henry Davis, he got fast tracked. He got fast tracked hard. I did not expect him to be up this year, but much like Bull Naylor, he's got the ability to go 2020. I mean, they both have the ability to hit for decent average, maybe go for um, something around 260, 270. I don't know. It's hard to gauge average a lot of times, but he's a former first overall pick. This is someone with a very high pedigree. He pretty much skipped AAA. He only played in 10 games. So I'm hoping he'll be an everyday regular. He's going to probably hit low in the order to start with. Like most of the times, people don't like to put, you know, recent promotions that high and put all that kind of pressure on them. But he has the ability to go 2020, and in one catcher leagues, you're not going to find that shit. It's rare. It's not often you find a catcher that can hit for average, get steals, and have decent power. And the
Yeah,
lineup's not bad.
he can hit.
Michael A. Taylor, uh, you know,
Is this a bottom of the barrel kind of
it's
pick?
gonna it's like it's somewhat of like a blech ad. He can't hit for shit, but his defense keeps him in the lineup every day. He has decent pop. He can definitely steal 20 plus bases. And even though he's hitting ninth, he's somewhat usable in deeper leagues if you need speed. And it's hard to get speed at this level without any power and tanking your batting average. So, as much as he's like kind of a boring pick, it's just it's just viable and useful. So that's it for hitters. That's a little more than we usually have. It's just because these last two uh, promotions came up right away, and I didn't want to not bring them up. So I love this motherfucker, Ron Marinaccio. He's actually from Toms River, New Jersey.
Yeah, I
I
saw
think
that.
Mike Trout was too, but he was
No, not
insane
Trout.
last year as far as his K percentage. I was
Todd
hoping it would
Frazier.
translate, but it has regressed. And
Todd,
his
yeah, Todd Frazier was that Tom's River guy. I don't know if
what'd you say?
Trout. Todd Frazier was from Tom's River as well.
I thought I thought Mike Trout was from New Jersey too.
Oh, he is. He's from Vineland, New Jersey. Okay, that's a little different spot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but
you're
he
right.
is.
Actually, Todd Frazier was in the Little League World Series.
Yeah, yep. Played against him in football too. We're similar aged.
Really? What position did
Yeah,
he play?
quarterback.
That
I,
makes
got- I
sense
got
because
got a sack on
normally in
him
Little League,
actually.
you're either like the shortstop and
Yeah,
the
you're the best player on the
quarterback,
team.
and you're like the
Yep.
best pitcher, and you're the best hitter. You know,
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna be like a pro athlete, you'd assume he's probably the best athlete in whatever sport he does when he's a kid. Like that kind of stuff. Same
but
with
there you
probably
go. That is not a analysis I thought we'd have. That you have first hand experience with.
yeah, sack that motherfucker. I mean, he like beat us, and they went on to go to Florida. This is actually Pop Warner championship. So I think
Wait, how the fuck were you even close
he
to being eligible?
we had a really good my first year ever playing Pop Warner. We had a really good year. We went to the state finals and we lost to Tom's River, and then Tom's River
Who's
went to
good
Florida
on the team?
and they won. Like Matt Mortis and stuff. We had a decent team. J.R.
Oh, so
Smith
you were
was
playing with older people.
yeah. That was like there would be a year where like the one year it'd be like it'd switch off. Like one year I'd play
What
with
did
the
you
people that were
play?
at that time I was playing D line, and I got a sack on Frazier right there in that one game. But I was
Oh, you're
also
talking
playing
about
like
football.
cornerback.
They're talking about baseball.
Oh no, I'm talking football. I know
Oh,
he
so
was.
Todd Frazier. You're
He
talking
did
about Todd
both.
Frazier in football.
Yeah, I'm talking about him in football. Yeah, but we had. I mean, J.R. Smith was on the team too. We had a good team.
Yeah, J.R.
Some
Smith, who is like, I think he's been in the NBA like 10 plus years, and even his younger brother, I think, played in China. Chris Smith.
yeah, I think he also
I think he went
might
to
have got
Louisville.
on. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I think he. I mean, I remember seeing him in the Madness, the whatever year he was in Louisville. But yeah, we got some connections here.
Yeah, so even though Marinaccio has regressed, I think he still has a chance at getting rogue saves. He should get holds, and I'm hoping his K rate improves. Jose Soriano, this is a weird one. I mean, this guy has very sketchy minor league numbers, but for the most part, I mean, he's been solid. The Angels just seem to trust him. He's got 6 holes in 6 fucking games. That's
Oh wow, that's
as
good.
his debut. Like that's insane to be that high leverage right away. So they trust him. They like him. I don't know how well he's going to be over the course of the year, but it's hard not to just see what he can do. And he's SB eligible in Yahoo, which is a big deal because if you're stacking holds, you get a huge
Nice.
advantage. Andrew Nardi, he seemed like kind of a journeyman, not a journeyman, like a unknown prospect without much fanfare. But this year, I don't know what they've, you know,
Putting something in the water in
developed.
Arizona.
Miami,
Oh yeah, that's right.
but
Miami.
Miami,
Skipping
we talked
ahead.
about Stephen Okert last week. We talked about I think AJ Puck early on, but Miami. Oh no, we talked about Tanner Scott.
Yeah.
Miami has a good track record of developing relief pitchers, at least for the last 2 years. And someone like this, you just want to ride it out, hope they continue to do what they do, even if it regresses. What they're doing now is so good that even if they falter, they're still above average. And Miami is not bad. I think they're in second or third place right now. I mean, I don't know. I think they know what they're doing. Develop. Yeah,
They're in second behind the Braves, only by a little bit.
yeah. So I don't know how long that's going to sustain. They do have good pitching. I mean,
Dude, the Mets
Sandy
suck. I thought they'd
Alcantara
be
has been
better.
terrible.
I thought the Mets would be better this year.
Yeah, the amount of money they spent, but
They're not
I
looking good at
don't, I
all.
don't want to get
I
into that.
mean,
We'll go on
it's
like an
early.
hour tangent.
It's early though. Still, it's not even halfway, right?
I think we're coming up to the halfway point.
Yeah, the
Uh,
All Star break is around that halfway mark. That's always what I remembered. That's like pretty much maybe a little after it, but it's pretty close.
Austin Adams, this one's sketchy. It's a very small sample size, and he's had a lot of issues throughout his career with control. But if he can figure that out, at
Ooh,
least for
yeah,
me,
look at
when
him.
I rostered him in 2019 with Seattle, he was great, and I'm hoping he can figure that out and regain that form because he does have really good um, stuff. Like he has the ability to throw over a caper inning, well over a caper inning. It's just whether or
He's
not
got
he
a
cannot
yeah.
hit people over and over and again.
Yeah, I mean, he could be good, but yeah, he's got a highlight video here that's about 3 minutes long of him hitting batters, and this is just like quick one pitch. So there's quite a many people he's hit.
Yeah, well, he actually is the first pitcher to ever register 20 or more hit by pitches in less than 50 innings, and he's the only pitcher to ever have 23 or more hit by pitches in a season ever.
Damn.
And he's a reliever, which is fucking terrible considering how many more opportunities starters have to do the same thing. So he's a bit of a psychopath, you
I'm
know?
surprised you don't see some of these players getting pissed off when this is happening. I guess they don't care.
What, about getting hit?
I would have been pissed at this one. This guy got hit in the head, birdie.
I mean, you know, I think
Just
it
right to
comes
the
with a
shin.
job.
Yeah, this is how they get all these injuries.
But despite all this shit, I mean, he's been amazing. And with relievers, it really comes down to have they figured something out? Have they made adjustments to where just for a year or half a year, they're good? You know, like these are not dynasty plays. We don't have to have Austin Adams for the next 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if he can just get his shit together for a season, he'll be valuable because he's had 6 holds in like 2 weeks. You know that's very hard to do.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's it for the ads.
Okay. Yeah. Would you want to share your screen?
Yeah,
You're having a
it's
pretty
gonna
good
be a
week, I
little
heard.
sloppy because I forgot to like pre uh coordinate my stuff, so we're kind of going on the fly here. But actually, if
That's
we
the way she
want to,
goes.
we can go over some trades I actually did recently.
Sure. You put your screen
Hopefully,
up.
it don't blow up in my face, but I've just had so much depth on this one team. I've been trying to free up some roster space. Oh wait, do I need to change over something?
You just need to present your screen. Little button there. I wish I could do it. I wish I could click send an alert to you. I should be able to do that.
Do you get it?
No, it's not saying present.
Yeah, it's weird. Hmm.
Yeah, you click present, share screen. The right
It,
is
it
can't.
for some. Okay, I think I got it.
There it goes. There it goes. All right. Wow, wow, we're in the infinite
So
right there. There we go.
it looks like we're looking into the next
The,
8
the
Spider-Man
2001.
movies.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking into the 2001 Space
So
Odyssey.
you can see here, I'm just trying to like condense my roster down, and I'm gambling on Bobby Witt Jr. being good the rest of the year. It's nice he went over 4 today because I don't give a shit.
Yeah, because you don't have them
And
yet.
Leo Tavares, who we talked about, I think either last week or 2 weeks ago, I'm gonna add him after this.
Oh, as soon as this guy drops them. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and
So you're
look
getting
what he
more.
did. Like he should not have dropped him. But
Yeah.
that's the nice thing about this trade is like not only am I getting three people for one, and freeing up roster space for um, CJ Crone and Neil Cruz and like other people I have off like coming off the IL soon. But if I want, I can add Joey Meneses. I can add Leo Tavares after this completes, and both of them are good ads.
Oh. All right, so then you're getting more than you thought.
And then this is another trade that I got going through. For Bryce Harper, Buxton, and Marte for Julio and Ruiz, which is another. You can see like Kirk was just a throwaway. He's like a backup catcher. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really care what he's doing, and I didn't need steals, but at the same time, I didn't want to be devoid of it, given how much I'm losing. So I have Marte, Harper, and Buxton all contributing somewhat also, and hopefully it doesn't look like it. I was hoping for a 10-0 week, but Brian Bayo, man, the fucking Yankees suck. Shit. I was hoping at getting a 10-0 week, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. I just lost K's. I just lost Whip. Motherfucker.
Shit.
So let's see some upcoming pitchers. Sereno at Texas. That's bad. No. Sandoval, Colorado. No. Dimmers. No. Singer, Detroit. Singer's been terrible. But that's a good matchup. Flaherty against Washington's. He's been bad, but that's a good matchup. Walker at Atlanta. No. McGill at Houston. No. Suarez at Atlanta. Ugh, I wouldn't want to deal with that. Lorenzen at Kansas City. That's not bad. Hendricks, Pittsburgh. It's okay. Ray at Arizona. No, I wouldn't want to do that. Hill at Chicago's okay. Woo. Oh, no, not in New York. Boyd versus Kansas City's not bad. Crawford, Minnesota's not bad. Kikuchi at Minnesota. I mean, Miami, that looks good. Oviedo, I think he's gonna, 2-start week. So Oviedo, those are two good matchups.
Hmm.
British at Tampa, no, I wouldn't want to do that. Ortiz at Miami is okay. Freeland at Cincinnati, no, don't do that. Decent streamers available, but make sure on the 22nd you are filling in hitters because it looks like a light day. For speed, hopefully Duran is going to play, but he's been sending a lot lately. Rosario is probably gone in most shallow leagues. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people in shallow leagues are gone. But that's it. I hopefully, hopefully these catchers we talked about in Bo Naylor and Henry Davis play every day. It would be
Yeah.
stupid to call them up and platoon or bench them, but you never know. And Monday, I will release the articles related to this that go into more detail and have, like actual statistics and information and Statcast information and stuff like that. But
How do you release it? By the way, what do you do to release it? You just kind of put it out in piecemeal, or do you put it on the site, right?
yeah, I mean, right now it's going on the site. Eventually, I'd like to have a Patreon or something and not release it publicly. But you know, there's no
Yeah, right
point
now
in
it's
doing
just,
that if people are there's not enough people to even follow what we're doing now to then charge it. So it's really there's no point.
yeah, so it's on fantasysportshelp.com. You can find it there.
Yeah, I think soon. I want to get into football stuff. I've been working towards that. So
Yeah, because it's gonna
it's
take
it's
over.
way too early for basketball, but I will be covering the draft. But
Didn't that happen? Didn't the draft already happen, or is that?
I think it's the 22nd, so it's going to be
Oh,
next week.
I thought that
Yeah,
dude
I'm
already got
really looking
took.
forward to it because this draft class is fucking insane. We got
I thought that
Victor
one guy's already
Wembanyama.
gonna go to the Spurs.
Yeah,
Or is he
Victor
just
Wembanyama is like a 6'5", a 7'5" generational prospect. Scoot Henderson, if not for him being in this draft, would be one of the better guard prospects in the last like 5 years. And then you have the Amen Thompson brothers. They're twins. They're in this weird league that's it's almost like an experimental league, sort of like the G League Ignite,
mm-hmm.
and they put up insane numbers. One of them is a bit better of a shooter than the other, so his position go higher. And then just the rest of the top 15 are all way above average prospects that are getting overshadowed because of the people ahead of them. So this is one of the
Mm-hmm.
better basketball drafts.
And of course
I'd say
the Knicks don't have a first round
going
pick. I
back to
don't.
like when Kobe Bryant came out, Allen Iverson came out, Ray Allen, Steve Nash.
Okay, nice.
That draft. But if anyone has questions on stuff, you can hit me up on Twitter at Taglieri. And like I said, I'm gonna try and get the articles out on Monday early, but sometimes I gotta make a bunch of changes based on what happened today and stuff like that.
Oh, exactly. All right. Well, yeah, you'll find us back next week, 8:30. See you guys.